This group, advised by Professor Hill, is going to talk to us about coral reef sustainability.
Hello, my name is Olivia Taylor, and today I'm going to present on the Coral Reef Sustainability through Innovation Act of 2017. I'd like to thank my team and our advisor, Professor Hill. Coral reefs are one of the natural wonders of the world. Some are so large that they can be seen from space, despite the fact that they're built by tiny animals only a few millimeters across. Coral reefs have existed for 25 million years, and most of today's reefs are between 5,000 and 10,000 years old. Coral reefs are some of the most diverse and valuable ecosystems on Earth, supporting more species per square foot than any other aquatic ecosystem. And 25% of marine species depend on coral reefs. Globally, they provide services to humans as well. Coral reefs provide $172 billion per year in services, including food and coastal protection, and 500 million people depend on them. In the US, reefs cover more than 4 million acres of the seafloor in US and territory waters, ranging from Hawaii, Florida, and the coast of Texas to South Carolina, Long Island Sound, US Virgin Islands, and Guam. And the total economic value of coral reef services for the US is estimated at $3.4 billion a year. Now, as you may have heard, corals are dying. We've lost half of them in the last 30 years, and 90% are facing life-threatening stress by 2030. According to the 4th National Climate Assessment, just released on Friday by the US government, the US is projected to lose $140 billion due to the loss of recreational benefits of corals alone. So what is causing this stress? There are 3 major problems. The first is poor fishery management due to destructive fishing techniques such as cyanide and blast fishing and overfishing. The next is pollution and sedimentation from roads and agriculture, which leads to starvation, disease, and death of corals. And the third is climate change, which is leading to an increase in the level, temperature, and acidity of oceans. And this has been the leading cause of death. So the loss of these reefs is clearly a huge ecological and economic concern. But to understand why they're dying, we first have to understand how they live. Each coral reef is made up of thousands of coral polyps, tiny animals that have a symbiotic relationship with algae. These algae provide them with their color and their nutrients. When corals are stressed by things such as warming waters due to climate change, they expel their algae in a process called bleaching, often leading to death. Luckily, there are people working to change this. An example of this is Frost Marine Lab in Florida. Their mission is to share the power of science, spark wonder and investigation, and fuel innovation for the future. They're doing this through an Inventors in Residence program where they have a lab with rotating scientists who have projects that the public can come view. One of these projects is breeding hardier algae to withstand changes due to climate change so that coral will be more resistant to bleaching. Another example of an organization doing this great work is Maui Reefs in Hawaii. Their mission is healthy coral reefs, clean ocean water, and abundant native fish. They are a nonprofit that sustainably manages marine areas through bringing together the community and key stakeholders, and they institute programs to provide best practices to businesses and developers, organize citizen science water testing, identify coral areas of highest needs, and create an action plan with leading scientists to protect endangered reefs. So how do we award those who are doing this great work and encourage others to start? Enter the Coral Reef Sustainability through Innovation Act, designed to promote innovative solutions to help reef ecosystems and the communities that depend on them through awarding prizes. The bill utilizes the already existing U.S. Coral Reef Task Force, which was established in 1998 to preserve and protect reef ecosystems. It's co-chaired by the Department of Interior and the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, and consists of federal agencies, U.S. states and territories, commonwealths, and freely associated states, which are organized into issue-specific working groups that work on the local level. This bill mandates that prizes are awarded to 5 priorities: further scientific research, alleviate financial hardship, mitigate job loss, help vulnerable communities, and aid tourism industries. While developing a program that would successfully award these prizes, we want to keep a few things in mind. We wanted to increase the awareness of the program and the problem itself. We wanted to allow for flexibility and scalability so the program can change over time. And we wanted to make it easy for agencies to award prizes if they were interested in doing so. So while thinking about all these criteria, we really wanted it to be within the U.S. Coral Reef Task Force. So we created the Innovation Working Group, designed specifically to implement the prize program. The structure reflects the structure of the task force in that Department of Interior and National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration are co-chairs, with 7 other federal agencies as members, chosen due to their expertise and expansive network. This group will establish the criteria that will guide our prize program, advertise the program, and find expert judges to determine winners. So in order to implement this program, we're going to spend the first year sourcing personnel and setting guidelines, and then advertising and promoting. And then every year of the prize program, we will advertise and promote, collect applications, and all of this will culminate in an annual event where the judges will determine the prize winners. Assuming 5 prizes, our total cost is $1.2 million, with $1 million going towards prizes and $200,000 going towards administering these prizes. So the goals of our program are to raise awareness and award innovation. So how do we know if we accomplish that? Our metrics are divided into 2 categories: task-oriented, which is staff performance and implementation of the program each year, and objective-oriented, which is the overall awareness of the prize program, application data, and our progress towards long-term goals. So to revisit our considerations in designing our program, we designed this program to maximize awareness, and we do that through an annual competition and expert judges, and by leveraging the 9 federal agencies' networks and task force to provide visibility. We designed it to be scalable, because dependent on budgets, the prizes could be increased in the future. We designed it to be flexible, allowing for the prize criteria, the focus of the prizes, and the agency's participation to change over time. We also designed it to ensure ease by utilizing the existing task force structure, making it easier for the agencies to participate. So, our bill was created to provide innovative solutions to help reef ecosystems and the communities that depend on them by awarding prizes. Our prize program is set up to recognize the work of groups like Frost Marine Lab and Maui Reefs, award their innovation, increase awareness of this problem, and build local resilience. Climate change is still a huge problem that we have to address at a global level, but this program is one of several steps needed to preserve corals, ocean ecosystems that rely on them, and the industries and people that they support. Thank you. I'll take questions.
I was just wondering, the $1.2 million that you have for the prize money, is that, I guess I'm wondering just where that number comes from and how you see that growing or changing as the program progresses.
Thank you. So the question was about the $1.2 million. That comes from, so we looked at what the maximum allowance of prizes through the Stevenson-Wilder Act, which is what our bill kind of is based on, and the maximum was $1 million, so that's where we started ours at. And I forgot the second part of your question, but, oh yeah, so the bill mandates that the agencies can put any amount of money in depending on their budgets. So if agencies see this prize program is going well and they want to add more money to it, then they can do that over time. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Oh, right over here.
So building on Tavo's question a little bit, in terms of the 1 million for the prizes, is that coming directly from the agencies out of their own budgets, or is that being lobbied from Congress or other sub-agencies to be able to allocate that throughout the year?
Thank you. Yes, the budget is coming from the federal agencies that are part of the working group.
Time for one more, if there is one. Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks.